Okay, navigating official portals. Well, it can often feel like you're trying to solve some kind of digital puzzle, right? Especially when it's for something as critical as corporate tax payments. You need to be fast, accurate, confident, but without getting totally lost in a maze of instructions. So the big question is, how do you get truly well-informed, quickly, about a complex system like this? Today, we're really digging into the user manual for the Federal Tax Authority's Ameritax portal. Our specific mission, to pull out the most vital nuggets of knowledge for a registered corporate taxpayer who's looking to confidently make their corporate tax payment. Think of it as your shortcut to understanding a system that's designed, and this is the FTA's own words, to offer a range of comprehensive and distinguished electronic services in the best and simplest ways. So we're here to show you how that promise actually translates into, well, a surprisingly user-focused experience. Okay, let's unpack this then. Before we even get into the nitty-gritty of making a payment, let's just look at the Ameritax portal itself. The FTA says their aim is the best and simplest ways to interact. From your perspective, what does that actually look like in practice on Ameritax? What's genuinely maybe surprising about its initial design?
Well, what's really insightful, I think, is how Ameritax goes beyond just, basic compliance. The fact they've included such granular accessibility features like text-to-speech, the ability to switch between English and Arabic, even screen resolution control that signals a pretty deep commitment to digital inclusion. These aren't just add-ons, it feels like a philosophy, showing they've really thought about, well, every kind of user, right from the moment you land there. You also have these distinct buttons to toggle between different roles within your profile, like taxable person, tax agent, legal rep. It's actually remarkably comprehensive.
That is fascinating. A clear focus on user experience right from the start. But, once you're deep inside a specific process, maybe a payment form, these things can get pretty complex. How does Ameritax make sure you know exactly where you are and what's still left to do?
Yeah, that's a really important point about navigating complex forms, isn't it? The manual highlights pretty intuitive navigation buttons like previous and next standard stuff. But the real clever bit, I think, is the menu right at the top of the application form. It gives you this kind of bird's eye view of all the sections. Your current ones highlighted in blue, completed ones get a green check.
Ah, okay. Like a progress bar.
Exactly. It's a small detail, but it really guides you through proactively. It reduces that feeling of getting lost, the cognitive load. And crucially, for those times when you need to step away or just gather more info, you can always save an application as a draft, which is, let's be honest, a lifesaver for detailed processes like tax payments. It almost anticipates that, well, we might get interrupted or need to pause.
Right, understands how people actually work.
Uh,
Okay, so we've got this impressive front-end intuitive navigation. The natural next step is, how do you actually get into this system? Is the login process as smooth as the navigation seems?
It absolutely is. Pretty straightforward. You log in using your usual credentials or, and this is very convenient, through UAE Pass.
Ah, the National Digital ID.
Exactly. That simplifies secure access across lots of government services here. And, if you've ever forgotten a password, who hasn't, there's a direct reset feature right there. Simple. Once you're actually in, the first step for a taxable person is just to select taxable person from a list, click view, and boom, you're on your specific dashboard.
Okay, so you land on your dashboard, that central hub.
Hmm?
Where do you head next to specifically deal with payments? Is there like a big button screaming, pay here?
Not quite screaming, but it's very clear. This is where the core functionality really kicks in for a corporate taxpayer. The manual directs you straight to My Payments. And that's not just a label, it's a really important design choice. By putting all corporate tax payment stuff under this one single section, Ameritax creates, one clear source of truth for what you owe. That really cuts down on the admin burden and, crucially, the risk of missing something.
That makes sense. A single pane of glass for all things payment related.
No.
That's incredibly valuable. So what kind of information will you find inside My Payments? Is it just a total figure, or does it give you a more detailed breakdown?
Oh, it gives you a comprehensive view. You'll find all your outstanding payments laid out in what they call a total corporate tax payments dues tile. And it's not just a balance, it clearly shows the total outstanding, any amounts that might be overdue, and it even gives you direct access to your transaction history. It's really designed to give you that full financial picture at a glance so you immediately understand where you stand.
That clarity is huge, knowing exactly what's outstanding and maybe why. And when it comes to actually, making the payment, how much flexibility does the portal offer? Can you chip away at it, or do you have to pay the whole lot in one go?
That's a great question, and the portal provides excellent flexibility here. It's a major plus for managing corporate finances. You can make your corporate tax payments either in installments or pay it all off in full right up until the payment due date. You've got the option to make a partial payment by clicking Select and Pay, or you can settle the full amount by hitting Pay All. That choice really helps taxpayers manage their cash flow.
That flexibility is definitely a strong point, especially for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say you go for Select and Pay. Maybe you want to clear specific liability or just pay a certain amount right now. How does that process work once you click that option?
Right, so if you choose Select and Pay from that main payments tile, you're then taken to the Pending Payments tab. Think of this as your payment control center. Here, you'll see a really clear breakdown of your total tax liabilities and any total penalties listed separately. And really useful for your records, you can download a payment due statement right from this section. Great for internal checks and reconciliation.
So it lays everything out clearly. And when you're on this Pending Payments tab, can you genuinely pay any amount you want? Or are you sort of locked into paying specific chunks?
No, you have significant control. You absolutely have the option to make a partial payment just by typing in the specific amount you want to pay right now. This section also neatly shows your tax liability for each year separately, which gives you that historical context. And if you've got a lot of transactions and can't immediately spot the one you need, there's even an option to expand the showing records per page.
Right.
Once you've decided what you're paying, you just click Proceed to Payment, and this is important, you'll see a payment summary screen before you choose your actual payment method.
Ah, okay, so a final confirmation step.
Exactly. It's all about transparency before you commit to the payment itself.
Got it. So after reviewing that summary, confirming the amount, what are the actual ways you can complete the payment in Ameritax? What are the main options?
The portal basically offers two main routes, given and card payment. Each has its own distinct guided process. They cater to different preferences, really.
Okay, let's start with card payment. What does that process look like? Is it all kept within the Ameritax site, or does it send you somewhere else?
Right. For card payment, you select that option, click Proceed to Payment. Now, a key detail here, and the manual is very clear about this, is a pop-up confirmation, because you will actually leave the FTA portal temporarily and be directed to an external secure payment portal called Magnati.
Magnati. Right, I've heard of them. They handle a lot of government payments in the region, don't they?
They do. It's a well-known and trusted gateway. So you confirm yes on that pop-up to proceed. Once you're on the Magnati site, you'll enter your card details as usual. An interesting little feature for international card users is that the gateway might offer to charge you in your card's home currency, like, say, Bahraini dinar, BHD.
Oh, okay. Dynamic currency conversion.
Exactly. So you get the choice of which currency to use for the payment. After you enter your details, choose the currency, you just click Pay.
And what happens right after that payment goes through successfully? Do you get instant confirmation?
Yes, you get an immediate acknowledgement right there on the screen. You can download a PDF copy of that acknowledgement screen for your records, which is always a good idea. Or you can simply click Back to Dashboard to return to your main Ameritax dashboard. Your payment status should update pretty quickly there, too.
Okay, straightforward enough for card payments. Now let's switch gears to the GIBAN method. That sounds more like a bank transfer system, which can sometimes feel a bit more complex with all the codes and reference numbers. How does Ameritax make that simpler, especially making sure the money goes to the right place?
Yeah. GBAN, which stands for Government IBAN, essentially a dedicated system for government payments, is really designed for precision. You choose it as your payment method, then you click Confirm Allocation. Now, this step is absolutely crucial because clicking that automatically generates specific payment instructions just for that particular transaction amount you're trying to pay. And the most vital piece of information here, the key thing for you to grab, is the payment reference number. It's a unique 6-digit number generated specifically for each individual transaction. You absolutely need this.
Got it. So that unique 6-digit reference number is the key that unlocks the correct allocation. So then what are the actual bank transfer instructions? Or maybe what's the essence of what you need to tell your bank when you set up the payment? I assume we won't read out account numbers here, but what's the general idea?
Exactly right. That payment reference number is the magic key. And you're right, we won't recite IBANs. But the manual, and more importantly, the portal itself, when you generate the GBAN, provides very precise bank transfer details. For both local and international transfers, it clearly lists the beneficiary info. Bank name, that's the central bank of the UAE, the account name, which is Federal Tax Authority Taxation of Corporations and Businesses, the specific IBAN, and the relevant SWIFT or BIC codes, plus a routing code for local transfers. The key takeaway is that all these critical details are laid out clearly for you to copy accurately directly from the Ameritax portal when you generate the GBN instruction. Don't rely on memory. After you make the bank transfer using those specific details and your unique 6-digit reference number, then similar to the card payment, you'll receive an acknowledgement. You can download that as a PDF and then head back to your dashboard.
Okay, that makes sense. Precision is key with Gibbon. So once you've successfully made a payment, maybe a partial one, using either method, how quickly does the system update? Does that outstanding amount change right away, or is there a lag?
No, it's designed for real-time feedback, which is great. After a partial payment is successful, that total outstanding amount on your main total corporate tax payments dues tile, it gets updated immediately. So you see the impact of your payment on your overall liability straight away. Instant clarity.
That's good to know, instant feedback loop. And what if you want to, say, double check on a given payment you've made, or maybe understand exactly how a payment was allocated against different liabilities? Is there a way to trace that within the system?
Yes, absolutely. This is where the Allocations Pending Payments tab comes in really handy. You get to it the same way. Go to My Payments, then select and Pay. On this tab, you'll find your DBAN allocations listed. You have the option there to download the specific DBAN allocation receipt. And even better, you can click on the little 3 dots menu next to an allocation and select View. That shows you the detailed GBAN allocation and exactly which liability it was applied against. Fantastic for detailed record keeping and just confirming everything landed correctly. Full transparency.
Excellent. Good for audit trails, too, I imagine. Finally, then, beyond what you see in the portal itself, what kind of official communications should a taxpayer expect to receive from the FTA about their corporate tax payments? Do they send out emails or notifications?
They do. The manual specifies 2 main types of correspondence you should expect to receive. First, a corporate tax payment acknowledgement notification, basically confirming they got your payment. And second, a corporate tax payment tax liability notification, which likely details how the payment affected your overall standing. These ensure you're kept formally in the loop about your tax status and payments, adding another layer of official assurance.
Right. So wrapping this up, what does this all really mean for you, the user? We've taken a pretty deep dive into the nuts and bolts of making corporate tax payments on the Ameritax portal. From its surprisingly user-focused design, with those advanced accessibility features, right through to the clear navigation, the flexible payment options card, and GBAN with their very specific allocation methods. It seems pretty clear the system is built with a high level of detail, really designed to guide the user. It feels like it's about minimizing friction and maximizing confidence in what can be a pretty high-stakes process for businesses.
Absolutely. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, it really does highlight how modern digital government portals are genuinely striving to provide, well, unprecedented clarity and control over processes that are inherently complex. The heavy emphasis on detailed instructions, those clear visual cues, multiple well-defined ways to pay, it's all geared towards enabling the taxpayer, you, to manage your obligations effectively and, importantly, with confidence. It feels like a significant step up in digital services.
Definitely. And that leaves us with maybe a final thought for you to ponder as you navigate your own digital interactions. How does a portal that's explicitly designed for the best and simplest ways actually manage the unavoidable complexity of big financial transactions like corporate tax? And what does this very precise level of guidance suggest about that evolving balance between automation on one hand and genuine user empowerment and control on the other in all these modern digital services we use every day? Something to think about.